Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for October 2012, and really, astrologically speaking, the big news this month is the move of Saturn. Saturn moves on October the 6th and will be in a more challenging position in your solar chart until it finally leaves that area in 2015. Now, as with all of the slower moving outer planets, we usually feel the influence the most when the transiting degree connects with a degree of an important point in our natal chart. So it's not going to be switched on full max for the whole of the time. But in general, over that long period, fresh directions and new foundations will emerge as you overcome the obstacles and clear the hurdles. The thing about Saturn, because she is a female energy, she's the great tester and teacher of the zodiac, as I said before, it's a bit like resistance training. She puts up resistance, and we have to learn to patiently persevere to overcome that resistance in whichever area of the chart Saturn is in. So all of us will be feeling a new set of limitations and resistances from this month onwards, but you Aquarius and the other fixed signs are going to be feeling it just a little bit more strongly because of the angle, and it's all about the angle. It's all very geometric astrology, so it's going to come into an area which will be about where you go from here, really. It's to do with your life direction. Saturn rules time, so we need time for the new structures to be built, for us to construct new foundations, you see. So Saturn has a habit of slowing things down, because we need that 2.5-year transit to kind of get it all together. She also tends to have this annoying habit of keeping what we're striving for just a little bit out of reach. The carrot, you know. But again, this is how she tests us and makes us stronger because of that extra effort needed. And boy, do we learn the lessons under a Saturn transit. So whenever the planet's degree comes within range, that's when you're likely to be feeling the pressures of Saturn the most. This long transit will have you looking for ways to build a new structure for yourself in the world, about image, about presentation, and position and role. It's going to be about that sort of stuff for you, Aquarius. And so along the way, much of where you've been, or much of what you're qualified to do, or much of the knowledge that you have, which maybe hasn't got an official paper qualification, or the roles that others expect you to play, will be useful, and will, be there already under your belt. But now you may need to do some rethinking and upgrading, so that you can get more comfortable with your place in the world. You can feel more secure. So that's the general sort of feel of the Saturn transit, but there will be more on that later. And really, this is only for you Aquarius Sun people, not for you Aquarius rising people, because we can't know the degree of the rising sign. It will certainly be applicable, though, if you do know the degree of the rising, if you say you're in early Aquarius rising, because then that will apply to you. But if you're in later Aquarius rising, then it won't. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. Anyway, this month the Sun has entered a more adventurous, expansive area where it tends to raise the spirits, gets you feeling more outgoing, and helps you to see outside of the box. And you should be getting out and about more. Some of you may have itchy feet, and with increased opportunities, there's likely to be increased opportunities to escape the daily grind. This is a good time for you to take a trip, have a break. And during this period you may be full of ideas, because you sort of get a second wind, as it were, and you can feel the promise or the potential in something, and you wish to launch into a project or into an experience of some kind. Some of you might need to do some research, because this is an area to do with that. But definitely a time when you are learning things you didn't know before, either through research or just from experience, or things popping up. And because of that, you're joining up the dots. It's also a good moment to test out the waters on something, ask questions, or indeed just put the word out on and share with others what you know across a wider stage. It could be a good time for travel, or for you to plan a holiday, like I said before, or just sign up for something, enroll in something, plunge into a different kind of environment. And in that way you can refresh your mind, refresh your spirits, and get things in perspective. Until the 5th, Mercury's in the same area too as well. So that means that conversations with those at a distance is more likely, probably over the wires, and unless you can shout very loud, but yes, very likely over the wires, or through letter writing, which is a dying art. And also this is a time when you may be exchanging with those from a different cultural background, or a very different area of expertise, or just a different slant on things. So it's kind of be like that. And if you're listening to this in September, then that's where Mercury will be now. Some of you may be looking into the legal side of things at this time for some reason. However it is, guidance or teachings or advice may be coming your way, and it just helps you get things in perspective. It helps you get the bigger picture. And then from the 5th, discussions, correspondence and ideas may be centered around where you are going from here in life. So it's about career stuff for some of you, just general life direction for some of you, a new enterprise, or those who may facilitate your aims. All of that kind of thing could be highlighted, and you may find your goals and schemes are being validated, or in fact rejected, by just the way things are unfolding and the writing on the wall. You could be having more conversation with those in authority, or kind of paperwork, to sort of bureaucratic red tape, that kind of thing. You could be putting more mental effort into expressing yourself in the best way you can, so as to get, the right desire, or be seen in a good light, be seen as fluent and sort of able to express yourself and your ideas. Also, strangely, vehicles, transport, or communications equipment may also be an issue, or maybe be on your mind just now. That's from the 5th onwards. Now Venus moves on the 3rd, but again, if you're listening to this in September, I'm going to mention this again. Venus could manifest as an influence which helps you out materially, because it's definitely worth a mention. Venus is in quite a potentially lucrative area, so somebody could be there for you materially in a major or a minor way, and in general, any negotiation or one-to-one work could go well with Venus here. Any kind of sort of bargaining situation. Some of you will shift into more commitment, sign on the dotted line, or put the money on the table, whatever it is, in a material or an emotional sense, because actually this is a nice place for Venus to help you to feel that sort of warm glow inside, really. Now then, from the 3rd, for some of you, your deeper feelings will be touched. That's when Venus moves, and you could become more intimate with someone, more involved with someone, or if it's in a sort of business type way, there's just more riding on, your people skills, how you can socialize, how you get on together with someone. It can be, it can be a sizzly position if it's in your personal life, or if it's not, then this is, how well you can handle and manage someone, and how good your your communication skills are as well. It is actually a time for taking advice, confidential advice, or rather it would be if you need to. You wouldn't necessarily need to, but just a good time to have a heart-to-heart talk with someone. Also, is a good time for you to give confidential advice and for someone to come to you with a problem maybe, and you can help them out. Probably a more financially, materially brighter time, or materially brighter time, with Venus here, and so it's a good time to tap into resources, or to sort of drive a hard bargain and come away with a reward. And it looks as though you'll have the emotional rapport there with someone to keep you happy and to warm the cockles of your heart. Just one other way this might be working for you is it's a good time for you and someone to put their head together, team up and work out a game plan, and plot and plan for the future, whether it's a big thing or really a little thing, because it might be about Christmas, who knows. Already in October we're thinking about Christmas, aren't we? Until the 7th, you'll continue to put physical effort into achieving certain goals and ambitions. That's because of the transit of Mars, which again, if you're listening in September, this is where Mars will be. That can be career orientated, just you on the way to a rosier future, hopefully. But of course you're going to have this move of Saturn now coming into that area, so you've got to take the whole area of career and where you're going to from here in life just a little bit more seriously. And then from the 7th, Mars is emphasizing a group dynamic, friendships, connections with others, new ones, old ones, colleagues, workmates, partners, family, whatever it is. It can be extended family. It's generally a progressive period there. Mars energy would help you to initiate change, or there might be change centered around those kind of relationships, or through those sorts of relationships. So change, afoot because of or through something to do with somebody else, or something that you're all pooling resources together. You're in it together. You're in this collective or in this group together. It can be like that. So physical energy can go into team efforts or group collaborations, whether it's a small group or a big group. And you just, you're all sort of, you're connecting with each other. You're connecting with the collective group mind. Also, information technology or any kind of technology is likely to be more emphasized, along with discussion forums, the internet. And putting your energy into a bigger project, something that's bigger than you, bigger than the group, but connecting, linking up with others so that you can, all of you, put your weight behind this thing, and pooling, as I said, pooling resources. Mars loves to initiate things, so you might find yourself a little bit more out in front or in the lead, or being consulted for knowledge maybe, or for whatever your contribution is, a little bit more than you signed up for, but it could be a little bit like that. Then from the 23rd you'll be taking your worldly responsibilities more seriously, and that's when the Sun moves into the same area that Mercury moved into on the 5th. So your mind will already be on those things anyway by the time the Sun gets there. And that's it for October. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, if you might like to listen to forecasts for those, but don't pay so much attention to the dates. That's really only for the Sun sign reading. And if you're not on my website already and you want to know what the slower moving outer planets are doing, then go there and you can read up on that and see what degree they're affecting this month. And I hope all that helps, and I'll see you the next time.